Hey guys, welcome to We Need to Talk with Nash and Rob. Today we have a very juicy topic and we've got an even juicier guest. Her name is Cal and she'll be remaining faceless. You know, she doesn't want to be beat up in the streets. I'm joking. But Rob, do you want to speak more about our topic for today?
Hi, guys. Welcome to today's episode. We are super excited to have you guys and even more excited for our juicy topic. Today's topic or episode is He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna delve more into that. Now we're just gonna catch up.
Yeah, so Cal, being the guest, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a long time coming. We thought and strategized about having you as a guest for the longest time, but obviously there were a few things we needed to sort out before that. So, without any further ado, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey Rob, hey Nash. Thanks for having me, guys. I feel so honored to be on Can We Talk?
It's not can we talk, it's a we need to talk.
Oh, oh,
I'm gonna leave this in the video because that's funny as hell. But yeah, how are you though?
I'm good. I'm good, and you?
I'm all good. Are you excited about the topic? I think you are an expert on the topic.
Am I?
Can I ask Cal a question? I think our members, our friends that watch our videos, they know us and they technically don't know you. Do you want to just give us 3 facts about yourself? Fun facts.
Are you trying to put me on the spot here, Robin?
I love
No, you
the
can
accent.
say you love dogs, you love cats, you love cutlery like
I
forks.
love cats. I love horses. I love to dance. I'm a people's person when it suits me. Yeah, basically that is it in a nutshell.
Okay, that's quite
Okay.
interesting. Do you own any cats, by the way? Because I don't know if you do.
I own 6 cats. Would you like me to name them for you?
Yeah.
No, we won't go into that right now. But yeah, I own 6 cats.
Quite interesting. So I think let's
Yeah.
just get straight into the topic. You know, I'm excited about it. I don't know about you guys. Rob, are you excited?
I'm super excited, especially given all the facts.
Hmm. True. So do you want to introduce the topic though? Like, and just expound on it a bit more.
Okay, guys, so as mentioned earlier, the episode for today is He Loves Me, He Loves Me Not. And this is about not the scene in Shrek and Fiona where she's pulling off the sunflower petals, wondering if Shrek loves her. This is about Shrek, the king, the donkey, if all of them in the episode love her or love her not, just like what's happened in our lives. So, yes, it is about exes,
I don't.
presents.
Oh, sorry. I don't have any exes. Just a disclaimer.
I also don't have any exes because I'm a married woman now. So, I don't know if you have any exes, girl.
Let's give it up for the married people. I have exes, unfortunately.
Amazing, amazing. So today, guys, we're taking you on our love journey of He Loves Me, the maybe he loved me, that he definitely loved me. That's why he put a ring on it. And he absolutely hated me and destroyed my life.
Yeah. Cal, do you want to tell us, like, what is the most memorable story when it comes to a guy? He loves me not edition. What's your most memorable story? It can be funny, it can be serious, it can be anything.
Okay. For me, Nash, I would say, okay, for those that know me personally, know that I was engaged to this guy. Okay, we were together for a long time. He was my high school sweetheart. We had it going. Okay, but if you know Cal, you know Cal wants to be the leader of everything. So in the relationship, I took the leading role in everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Our goings, our comings, our whatever. But after a while, it started to get frustrating because I had allowed all of this. And my person, we'll just call him Mr. X, my fiance at the time, don't get me wrong, he is a wonderful guy, the best I've ever met, if I may say so myself. Wonderful guy with a heart of gold and, all the glitter. But as time went by, I started to feel like I'm not for this guy. Not because I'm not good enough for him, but because I took the role for so long, and now he just like got comfortable with that and let me run with it. Whoa. And then he didn't feel a purpose in the relationship in the sense of he wouldn't add input into the relationship. If I said to him, okay, we're buying a dog, because Cal said that we're buying a dog, which was selfish on my part, which was very selfish on my part. But once again, he was a wonderful guy. So I had to give Cal a sit down and a talk about, am I right in what am I doing? Because maybe Mr. X needs somebody that's going to drive him into the direction that God has planned for him to be, like a husband or a strong role in the relationship, which he wasn't, because I wasn't allowing him to be, because I took the role. So after being engaged for so long and ready to get married, for me, divorce is not even a thing. It's not even a thing. It doesn't fit in my world. It doesn't fit in my vocab. I don't believe in divorce, So I had to sit down and give Cal a talking to and say, okay, look, you love this guy. I knew 101% that he loves me. If there was a man that loved me, it was that man. But I had to love him enough to set him free, So I had decided after a while that, you know what? If I continue in this relationship and take it to the next step of a husband in the sense of us getting married, I'm doing this guy a disadvantage because he's just gonna thrive or celebrate my achievements. And where's he gonna be? In the back, which is not fair. He needs somebody that's gonna look to him, rely on him, count on him, and I wasn't prepared to be that person. So in saying so, it came to a point where I had to say, okay, Mukai, we need to talk. And then we spoke. And we spoke about it, and then of course, when you are giving a person a dear John, so to speak, nobody takes it very well because it's just coming out of nowhere. And obviously, you're not going to understand what I'm trying to say or why I'm doing this for you. But you're going to be angry because all these emotions are going to come at you. Oh, do you have another man? And all that goes with it. So, that was it. And I was prepared to take it. But, we did get the bad words, the ugly words, the very ugly words, but it was okay. It was okay because you know why? If he thinks about it now, 10 years later, he actually thanks me for it because he's achieved so much. He's got a beautiful wife. He's achieved so much. Yeah. He feels like the man that he was designed to be. Had he been with me, he would have just been my shadow. And that's not fair on anybody. So sometimes you got to make very selfless decisions. And it was a hard one for me because, as I said prior, I loved him. And I knew he loved me. And knowing that a man loved you is very rare nowadays. But you two married ladies will know because I'm doing all the glitz and glamour. So,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, shoot.
So you obviously identified a few misses during the engagement that you weren't happy with as his fiance, as a person, as a strong individual, because we know you're a strong, independent woman. What were the misses that you identified that created the foundation for the Dear John?
Okay, as I said, maybe I feel it was like he wasn't driven enough. He was a bit laid back in the sense that You know, when you've got somebody and you know that, okay, fine, I don't need to stress too much about this. Rob's got this. And then it becomes a pattern. But it's also what Robin has created. But when the frustration sets in, we look very far away from the root cause of it, which is you as an individual. Because you took the role the first time and you didn't sit down about it the second time, you ran with the role again and then it became your way of life. So it was a bit, he became a bit comfortable, you know, and I needed somebody to challenge me because I'm a strong-headed woman. So I needed somebody to say, if I said to you the sky is green, you needed to tell me that it's blue. And you fight you be adamant that the sky is blue. Yeah. Don't let me say the sky is green and that is what we're going with. So it was all about a challenge, not only in the relationship, but you needed to challenge me in our achievements. You needed to challenge me all around because at that particular time in my life, things were happening for me and I needed my partner to be along on that journey with me where things are happening for us, not only for me. So yeah, that was one of the things.
How old were you guys when you first started seriously dating? So I know that you were high school sweethearts. If I'm not mistaken, from what I do know, you guys broke it off for a while, obviously because of life and of age. And then at what age did it become really serious?
Um, when we met again after being in other silly little relationships, which I wouldn't even count as relationships, we should have been around. Look, Mr. X is older than I am, a few years. So, I think at the time I should have been like 24. Memory serves me well. Yeah.
But just from what you said, there's honestly so much that we can take. Like, first of all, you've made it very clear that love is not enough. You know, it's not enough to sustain a relationship or even a marriage, which is quite a controversial take because a lot of people believe that, oh, if you guys love each other, you'll make it through anything. But that is actually partially true, but not totally true. And then there's also another point of, okay, fine, you decided to get into a committed, serious relationship with this guy. But if somebody has clearly shown you, I mean, if he was older than you, you were 24, and at his age, let's assume, for argument's sake, that he was like 3 years older than you, 27. By 27, if you can see, okay, this guy has like no direction, he kind of doesn't know where he's going. Why did you decide to still stay, or not even stay with him? Why did you decide to get into a committed relationship with him, and then still get engaged to him? Why did you accept his proposal if that was the situation? And I feel like a lot of women are to blame. I know you were just like, oh, sometimes we see so far, but you're right. Sometimes we need to bring it back and look at ourselves and the decisions we make when it comes to these guys. So what made you decide to, thug it out with him despite him showing you who he was?
Okay, about that. When we first started dating, when we got serious, we were on the same page. When I say we were on the same page, we were all about the good times. We were all about the street. And we were both in the street. Yeah. So there was no serious sit downs and let's talk about the future. No, the future was not even a thing at the time. Okay. So for like basically for the first three and a half years of our relationship, it was all about the weekend. We would talk, and Thursday we are planning where we off to, where we meeting, what we doing. So after 3.5 years of dating and whatever, obviously now after that, it started to get a bit serious in the two of us. And then I had planned to go overseas. So I was in the process of sorting out my stuff and whatever to go overseas. I was supposed to go to the UK. So he wasn't having it, Shane. Guy wasn't having it. He was feeling some kind of a way about me going overseas. He was not having it. Then we sat down, we spoke about it, and then, at the time, you guys wouldn't know about call boxes because you're fairly young, Shane.
We know about call boxes.
So at the time, We, oh, you do. Oh, you're quite modern. Okay. Then we speak on the area in which I stayed in. There was a call box, so we would like you'd phone me on my house phone, and then when we needed to have like a private talk, we'd speak on the call box. So the one evening we were on the phone. And we were having a normal conversation, and then we just ended up discussing, like, my plans about me going overseas to be, like, to go and work and whatever. And then he was like, Cal, why you don't marry me? Like, a typical colored man. Why you don't marry me? So I was
So
like,
you proposed on the call box.
basically, yeah, but the money got finished. And the call cut. So the money got finished and the call cut. So there was a lady standing on her balcony, and I said to her, I think this boy just asked me to marry him. She said, what? And she threw money. She said, follow me back. And I followed him back. And then it was, okay, it was a discussion after that. And I was like, yeah, no, for sure, definitely. And the planning started after that. But yeah.
Did you thank the lady that continued the proposal?
No, I think I was playing shocked about the proposal, so I don't even think I thanked her. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
But obviously, the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna get all of your bestie, and if you got a bestie like mine, then the planning starts immediately.
Yes. We all remember your engagement party.
Oh, thanks for the answer. I'm out. I don't even know what to say. Robbie, please
I
take
think
over.
we'll circle back to Mr. X. Cal. Thank you for
True.
that. I think that story is so unique. I think if you knew Cal personally, you'd understand why we're actually laughing instead of going, no, no. But I think let's just move over to a fun part. Okay, Nash, as you mentioned earlier, which we have to verify, of course, you don't have any exes.
No, I don't.
But you can't say that you haven't been on dates
I have. I have.
with other people aside from your now husband.
Yeah.
But here's a question. You're gonna tell us one extremely awkward or embarrassing thing that's happened to you on a date. So you go first, I'll go second, and Cal will go third.
Okay, cool. Whew. Okay, so I went on a date with this guy, right? I knew that he wasn't anything to write home about. Definitely didn't like him, in like a serious way or anything like that. I was very bored at the time. I was busy with my studies. I would just like chill at home on weekends. So I just wanted to like zhuzh up my life, and just like go on random dates. So this guy had liked me. Obviously, he didn't like me, He just liked what he saw, if you can read between the lines. So we took me on a date. He came to fetch me. The date was okay. We had dinner, and then we went to go watch a movie. I was laughing so loud in the cinema because when you don't like somebody, you don't care. You will just act yourself. And that was me told the whole evening. I didn't even care. And then so it's time to go home now, right? And we're in the car, and I didn't want to go home. I thought, okay, cool, we could go for like a coffee or an ice cream and just chill and like talk smack. And he's like, oh, do you want to go and book in?
No.
Knowing the person that I am, I swear to you, I would have thrown the biggest tantrum. But then I'm just like, I don't have money to be Ubering home. So let me calm down and just play
You should
it
have
cool.
punched him.
I wanted to, but he was gonna throw me out, bruh. Like this guy is not like our husband's a gentleman. This is a basic ass guy from like Wentworth. And so I was like, no, it's okay. You know what? I'm actually so tired. I think just drop me off at home. When I got home, I was fuming. Robin, I think I told you. You probably won't remember. Short-term
You
memory
did
loss.
tell me. You
Yeah, but I
told me.
was
I was waiting
so
for you.
I was
Actually.
so angry. I was so angry. That was like the worst, most embarrassing thing. I know I didn't do anything, but it was embarrassing because this guy viewed me as that kind of girl.
Like
Even
that.
though I did nothing for him to view me that way, you know. But I was just like, okay, never again will I give back to the community like that. And then the second most embarrassing day, It actually wasn't like a date, you know. It was actually with like a friend, not a friend, but like a friend. And then we went to the movies. First, we went to like this Mexican restaurant, and it was so nice, just catching up and stuff like that. At the time, I had braces, and if anybody remembers my braces before my teeth came right, I looked like I was straight out of Wrong Turn. I had like 2 or 3 surgeries because I had an impacted canine. So after the first surgery, my teeth were so messed up. It was bad. Like I used to try so hard not to show my teeth or whatever. Now this guy came. We went on a date. I'm trying so hard to cover my teeth. Whatever the night went on. I don't know if he saw, if he did, or if he was just trying to be nice. Because Shani was a nice guy. Then at the end of the night, it was so awkward. It was so awkward. He just dropped me off at home and he's like, okay, cool, good night.
No, nothing.
Not even a hug to say, well, thank you. I just jumped out. I was like, do I have such bad luck? Such bad luck.
I'm so sorry.
That was so embarrassing.
Oh my
Those are
god!
my
I mean,
stories.
those are next level.
Yeah, they are.
Mine are very different given the history of things, but I'll give one. This one time, I don't have any exes, guys, so we're just gonna say a friend and I went out. I'm lying, guys. I do have exes. This is why we're having this episode. We're gonna unwrap it all.
We just lie, guys.
So
it's a disclaimer. We just deny, move on. Deny, move on.
exactly,
Carry on, Robin.
exactly. So we went out. We actually went to, I think, Kudutawa, Wilson's Wharf, and we were having the time of our lives. And you know, we were drinking. There was food involved. There was dancing. And that time nobody had cars, so we knew we were getting an Uber home. And we had a little takeaway bag with, I think it was, I don't even remember what. But in the Uber, I threw up in the takeaway bag. And the Uber driver and the ex had no idea. That's how silent, that's how good I was, guys. In my highly intoxicated state, I was still able to be a ninja. So the person only found out when we got home, because we used to live across the road from each other, so it was one stop. The ex only found out when he asked me for the bag because it was his bag. But I took the food out the bag, so I didn't want to leave my packet of puke in the Uber. That's wrong. So I had the polystyrene container in my hand, and he's like, were you eating? And I was like, actually, no, I actually threw up in the packet, but I promise I never missed the Uber, and I promise your food's not. So at first he was really impressed at how I hid that from him, because I mean, everybody knows when you vomit, especially when you're drunk.
Wait, Robin, I have to disturb you. So you threw up. Did you kiss him after that?
Yes, I kissed him goodnight. But I think because we were both drunk, I was hoping he had like sinus from the dew and he wouldn't be able to smell it. It wasn't like those French kisses. It was just like one night. Oh, by the way, my food. And then afterwards, he was just like, "Oh my word, that is actually disgusting."
Oh,
and then I can't remember what we did with the packet of.
I think Cal has fainted because she's such a finicky.
I think she's traumatized because she didn't know the story. I'm young and dumb.
God.
And drunk. So
yeah, no, it's okay. We forgive
some
you.
grace. Thanks. Cal?
I'm listening, Robert. I have to really take a minute there to go in. Because I was feeling some kind of way. I was, me, I picture everything, and I was just trying to picture this whole movie, and you're making me feel ew.
Cal, we've all had our moments, Cal.
No, for sure, Carl. We all have. On the real, we all have had our moments. Trust me. I've had my fair share as well.
So what's your embarrassing story?
Girl, if you know me, I don't have embarrassing stories.
Yes.
I'm joking. I remember many years ago, we went on a date with this guy, right? He was not a looker, but he was alright, shame. And
Shame.
when we got there, we had known each other for a while. So obviously, like, we get there, we're gonna have drinks or whatever. So back in the day, in my time, um, kissing, well, we called it sniping, was a thing.
You just revealed your age.
No, even people now smile. So we get there, and then he's like, "Hey, Cal, we haven't seen each other for such a long time," and he was all excited to see me. And then he kisses me, and we have a little bit of a young snipe, and his mouth was tasting of samp. I was ill. You know what I say? Like he just ate a bowl of samp and he didn't like rinse his mouth. Hey, I was sick, sick, sick. I couldn't look at him after that.
Oh my god.
Seriously, seriously could not look at him. I'm looking at this guy. All I'm thinking about is this dog ate Sam and he kissed me. I mean, I love Sam, but I would not go and kiss somebody straight after I eat Sam. So how interested was he in the state that he didn't bother to even rinse his damn mouth? You know?
He definitely didn't love you.
No, I didn't need him to love me. I just needed my list to go on.
That's all about this list.
No, this is not even about the list. So we'll stop right there. Let me hear more about the married ladies.
Married ladies. So, Robin, back to, the topic, because I do think we diverged a bit. He loves me not. So, were you ever in love with a guy that just did not love you?
Before I answer that question, I think just a pre-disclaimer that I now know what it's like to be truly in love with the person that I married. So in the past, I knew, and this is why I don't know if your parents have ever said this to you, but they always say to us, do not date a guy you feel sorry for.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say a lot, but I've had like 2 he loved me nots.
Yeah.
And both of those relationships, I found myself, and it's also the type of person that I am and the heart that I have, that I found myself in those relationships out of pure pity. Or 3, the one I really gave back to the community, like not even a soup kitchen, a gala dinner, a whole weekend fundraiser, giving back to the community. That one, he really loved me not. He tried to love me again, and I didn't love him not, if that even makes sense.
Yeah.
The one, his mother completely hated me, and I'm actually glad for her hate because it really separated us, and it was such a blessing in disguise. The one really loved me not, and it opened my eyes when I realized that he loved me not, because I lost myself completely in a relationship. I was in a 110% toxic relationship. And just a heads up, when you're in a toxic relationship, you feel like he loves me. He doesn't. To be with a narcissist really drains the life out of you. Like, I would 100% not recommend. I definitely have learned things from the relationship, from being in such a toxic environment, from losing parts of myself to breaking these new molds and growing into the woman that I'm meant to be. It really has opened my eyes in terms of friendships, relationships, family ships. It takes one toxic relationship to really and truly take the scales off of your eyes to see that's not healthy.
Yeah.
This is not right. Or you shouldn't be spoken to like that. You shouldn't treat me like that. Or you're simply ungrateful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, Robin, just going back to what you were saying, like with this toxic guy and stuff like that, what made you stay in it? So I've obviously read a lot of things when it comes to like toxic relationships and, victims feeling, a kind of way, almost like they're trapped in a cycle. But what were like some of your reasons, not to feed into your personal business, but yeah, just even if it's top line.
Yeah. From my side, you don't know you're in a toxic relationship. It's like you're sleeping throughout the relationship. Let me tell you guys, it starts with your mind. Once they get into your mind, it's basically game over. It's the small things that get them like in your mind, like your self esteem
Hmm.
is a topic, or your time is a topic, or your friends are involved where it's like, oh, I think you've seen this friend a bit too much. Oh, you're always going to this friend's house. Oh, it's a thing of, oh, the same friend always has people at her house. So who are you actually, who are you going to see? So friends are a topic, self-esteem is a topic, time is a topic that slowly repetition of the same issues become, oh, he's going to complain about this, I'm just not going to go. He's going to complain about this, I'm just not going to do anything. Then it gets to a point where if he wants to check your phone, that's when my eyes should have been open. Eyes, ears, all five senses. But because he had already created an environment where that seemed okay, it was just like, oh, okay, it's fine. Guys and gals. This guy used to go through, I don't know if you'll know that scene from that Tyler Perry movie where Angela is checking his phone, his heartbeat. Same scenario, just my boyfriend at that time was Angela. He used to go through my WhatsApp, my SMSs, my Facebook Messenger before he made me delete it, my Instagram DMs that I didn't even get any. Where was the flying to? And sometimes even banking app when things weren't adding up for him, when my finances weren't adding up for him. And then it's a thing of getting accused that you're cheating or you're flirting or you're working late because you're having an affair, but you're working late because your job is stressful. So it's the eye openers like that where I was completely asleep because that behavior seemed normal because it was okay to deal with. Because in the beginning of our relationship, he already had me mentally. That's how a narcissist creeps in. And through your emotions, they use yourself against you so
Hmm.
that eventually you lose yourself. I couldn't even recognize my personality anymore. And people tried to tell me, but it's like I was deaf. An
Yeah.
eye opener for me, and this was so we broke up Feb, and in December, I don't know if you remember that Christmas, you were in the car, and I don't even know what he said to me because I was so used of doing things wrong that you're so quick to say, "Oh, sorry, sorry," when you're in a toxic or an abusive relationship, because toxic relationships include emotional abuse, mental abuse, sometimes physical abuse, financial abuse, all types. It's not just one. And I don't know what he said to me or the tone in which he said it, but you were like, you shouldn't be speaking to her like that. And it didn't even register in my mind, but knowing the person that you are, when something's on your chest, girl, it's on your chest.
Yeah, it has to come out. It has to come out.
You concentrate something on your chest. I think we even got home, or even at the house we were at, you actually spoke to me about it, and because I was still asleep in the relationship, it didn't make sense. But you did plant a seed. So the next time the behavior came up, I noticed it, and I was like, "Oh, this is what Nash was talking about." And slowly, but it takes one person to plant one seed. And slowly but surely, because in order for a narcissist to get to where he wants you, you find yourself seeing that your family is the problem, but you're the problem. Your friends are the problem, but you're the problem. But in respect or in the time period I was at as in a toxic friendship and as in a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I say I was in a toxic friendship because my friend at the time and I were both in toxic relationships. It was just a toxic environment.
Mm.
Everywhere I went, there was no safe space.
Yeah.
I barely went to my family because of the relationship. The friend that I was friends with at the time was going through something similar, just in a different manner. So it was a safe place. It was hazardous. We
Mm.
were in a refinery, technically. So there weren't anybody with a gas mask to say, wake the F up.
Yeah.
This is not you. This is not how you were raised. This isn't how you should be treated.
Yeah.
So the one seed became quite a few seeds because my friend Sherry at work would say, Robin, this is not you. And bless Sherry's soul, because he would fight almost every second day on WhatsApp. So I would just give him my phone to reply. It would get so bad because I was so used to I was even anticipating arguments, but alas, it's in the past. But it just took a few seeds for me to realize that this is actually not how it's supposed to be. And I'm actually with this person because I felt sorry for them. We were friends. We were the best of friends, actually. And our friendship was healthier than our relationship. And then I realized that I shouldn't have got into a relationship. I was never in love with him.
Yeah.
And then our breakup story is actually really funny. So we were at my favorite artist's concert, and I got so excited, guys. Anybody knows me, I'm the biggest Tamia fan ever. Can't sing to save my soul, but the house gets clean when our albums are playing. I know all our songs off by heart. And she came to Durban and we were blessed with tickets, and it was like, so it was my moment. And I had gone with my aunt. So they knew, because my aunt and her husband bought the tickets for us, because that's how much they knew I loved Mia. So we were there and nobody was allowed to get in my way, especially when she was on stage. And so they noticed because they knew his behavior, and they knew like either this relationship is on the rocks or this guy's literally just going to take Robin away forever and probably kill her. But that fateful night, the switch came on. Cal always tells us to switch on, switch on. The lights came on, guys. Firstly, I was once again highly intoxicated, but the sun and alcohol don't mix, so that's also why I was overly intoxicated. And after the concert, we went to Diving Bell. I think it's closed down now, but bless Diving Bell's cotton socks. And I was with the girls, and he was supposed to be with the guys, but he couldn't stop coming by me. And I was like, can you just go be with the guys? You can see we're talking. And he's like, I need to talk to you now. I was like, no, no, no. I went to the bathroom, and he cornered me in the female bathroom, and I was like, what do you want? Because by then I was so tired. You just get tired. The fighting, everything just makes you tired. So he's like, I just want to talk to you for 5 minutes. So we go outside, and another uncle sees us outside talking. He's like, hey, Rob, my sister, are you okay? So he's like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Go inside. We're just talking. I'm coming inside in a few minutes. And this guy keeps arguing with me, and by then I can't even hear him because A, I'm highly intoxicated. B, I'm highly irritated. So I'm feeling sick, and he keeps arguing, and I'm like, I need to go inside. I need to throw up. He's like, no, you don't. So I ended up throwing up outside while he was arguing with me. And while I'm throwing up, this guy is still arguing with me. And I'm like, in my head, I'm so sorry if you're under the age limit, but I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Robin? So the light bulb stayed on. So when I finished throw up outside, if you know me, I have sinus, so I always got tissue on me. Took out my tissue from my pocket, wiped my mouth, and I was like, this is the last time you're going to argue with me because we are over. So he thought, Robin is drunk, she's not going to remember. We go home. As soon as I get home, in my drunk state, I'd already blocked him. And thank God I remembered that we actually broke up that night. Because the next day I was getting any sort of communication. Guys, they even go as far as to making new SIM cards. Thank God for Rika, actually.
I
Because
don't need to
you
laugh,
can't have too
laughing
many
at.
SIM cards.
Oh, sorry.
But it was that hectic that it had to take me throwing up outside Diving Bell to realize that I'm actually done with the bullshit. I'm done with the mind games. I'm done with the psychological tremors that are caused by a toxic relationship. And let me tell you something, the man that I'm with now, my husband, Kel, no,
Oh, y'all, go for it.
Nash, I don't know if you remember, but an ex friend and I and you, we were in a group and we gave our list of the ideal guys for us.
Yeah, I do
And we
remember.
all, and my list was like that, but I modified it a bit personally. And I gave God this list, and God was like, hold my holy water. And the guy that I have, my husband, compared
Yes,
to
girl.
everything else I've been with, is truly a godsend. Like, I can't say our relationship is perfect because it's not.
Yeah.
When you come from a toxic relationship, you're so fearful of getting into another one that you never want to go through that again, or you never want to be with a narcissist again. So everything is like anxiety.
Yeah.
If they eat the wrong way, if they say the wrong thing, it's just like, why you said that?
Mm.
Or why are you asking that question? Are you toxic? And it had to take Bay now to say, listen, you were in a toxic relationship and I understand, so you were hurt, but you're not in one now and you're never going to be in one again. Because this is a healthy environment where we can talk and share feelings and solve problems the correct way. Not scream at each other or switch off phones or walk away. Is that's none of what we're going to do here. And I had to get checked and I had to check myself because he just checked me.
Yeah.
But it's so refreshing to come out of a toxic relationship and just be in a fruitful one.
Oh, I totally love that for you.
Thanks. I
Yeah,
love
good.
myself.
So, Cal, do you want to comment? Because I know Robin loves throwing her husband in the picture. What do you have to say?
Let's just leave Robin in her moment. Let's leave Robin in her moment. She's embracing her husband.
Sorry to interrupt you. I was just going to say, I think you and I have a lot in common.
Go for it. Listening to Robin talking, I can actually relate to a lot of the things that she said. But to touch on it, for those that are in relationships and haven't realized that they're in a toxic relationship or with a narcissist, a man will only do to you what you allow him to do from the onset. The problem with us females is we need to know ourselves. Yeah. We don't know ourselves. We don't know our worth. We don't know our capabilities. We don't know who we are. We are so hungry or so desperate to belong to somebody that we go into these things knowing them. We see the red flags. There is nobody, myself, can say I've been in a toxic relationship but I didn't see the red flags. Yeah. I chose not to see the red flags because sometimes the red flags are so bright, a blind person can see them. But because we are so afraid of being alone, we are so afraid of going to the party without my plus one and everybody else is going to be there with their boyfriends, you will settle for less and take on BS. Bullshit. You know? So we actually need to know our worth. It starts with us, self-love.
Fully agree.
And
men, no hate to the men out there. There are some good brothers out there. You guys are, we all go on about these husbands. So there are some good men out there that are still there. But for those that are sick, there are sick men. Let's be truthful, they're sick men. But there are also sick women. They are also toxic women. And sometimes we create our own toxic
So true.
because we can be in a toxic relationship, but when you go to the root cause of it, who started the digging in the phones? Who started the insecurity? Who started the why you looking at her? Who isn't that your ex? Why is she looking at you? Also, she's been sending you messages, and then he acts on what you did. Now the roles have turned. You now or in this place where you are so in L with this man, and he's now starting to say, "Oh, why is he looking at you?" Then what do we say? He's toxic. But who started it? Who started it? We started it. So sometimes we can sit there and we can say X, Y, and Z, but we as females are also very toxic. But being in a relationship with a toxic man, as Robin was pointing out, like her previous relationship with, or whatever you want to call it, because you guys don't have exes, with their person, I can relate to a lot of the things that she said, and it's sad. It's sad that we gotta go through that because some women are scarred, and they scarred for life because they haven't healed. They haven't allowed themselves to heal. Thank God for you, Robs, that you took your healing period, you found yourself, you learned to love yourself and be you again, and then you met your husband.
Ooh.
So yeah, look at God. So yeah, for me, I just feel that both female and male, we all toxic, and we all have most people have problems, and the root cause of it is that we come out of a relationship and we take the hurt, the pain, and the scars into the new relationship. Heal. There's nothing wrong with healing. Take your time out. Be that that person at the party with no man. I am healing. Wear a t-shirt if you have. I am healing. It's your time. It's for you. Love you, heal, and then go into a relationship fresh. Because the new man that you're gonna meet didn't hurt you. He wasn't toxic. He didn't break you. Or that new woman didn't hurt you. She didn't break you. So you're starting off fresh now because you're coming in clear minds. So for me, as a person that can relate to a toxic relationship, I find this topic very I don't know, it makes me just feel some kind of a way. It makes me want to like, go off my head if I may say so, because being with a narcissist is real, guys. It's so real.
Very
It
triggering.
is real.
And all you find it so hard to even pray for them. You got to take a moment and say, Lord, help me pray for this Mr. Z, because I find it so hard to pray for him because every time a pop-up comes into my head or his name, just takes me down a road of anger and resentment. So heal me from there first before I can, carry on with whatever. And when you reach that point where you can actually say, Lord, cover him, protect him, then you're on your way to recovery. But until then, keep healing. Jeez. Yeah.
That's so true. Cal, I really like what you said, especially about the healing. And just as a sidebar to he loves me not. It's about, do you love you? My biggest milestone and my biggest moment in life was when I forgave myself for being in that toxic relationship and allowing that to happen to me and allowing myself to go through that. I beat myself up internally for about a year after that toxic relationship. And when I forgave myself and I realized the love that I thought I was pouring into that person, I should have been pouring into me. And when I forgave myself for going through that and allowing myself to go through that, I forgave him instantly. Even saw him in a different light. Wouldn't go back,
Yeah.
but even said, you know what? The lesson is learned.
In most cases, I'll speak from a female's point of view. We come into something, we meet this person. Obviously, okay, for me, I've been in a toxic relationship. I've come out of one. It's been hell toxic. Toxic on another level. Toxic that I can't even I can't put my finger around it because I never experienced something like that in my entire life. And for me, my healing journey was not about the relationship because I left the relationship 2 months or 3 months prior to me actually saying, okay, I'm done. So that was my healing period from the relationship. But I needed to heal for myself, for what I subjected myself to, for what I allowed myself, giving myself into something that where you meet somebody, as Robin said, was her friend. My Mr. Z was my friend, but my friend was a broken friend. And my friend, I became his pull of strength. And being the person that I am, I'm going to be there for who needs me because that's just who I am and that's how God designed me to be. So if you need me, I'm going to be there for you every step of the way until I feel that you're ready to stand on your own 2 feet again. And that's who I was to this person. And as time went by, the person started to develop feelings, but I totally didn't see it. And so the guy I used to share office with said to me, hey, do you realize that Mr. Z is like, I'm like, hey, Mr. Z needs to hold up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's all we're going to be. But as time went by, unfortunately, we ended up into this relationship and ended up whatever, living together, whatever. Okay, in the beginning it was rosy. And then it started to get real. Then you start to see a person for who they are. And then it's like every day is something different. And then you tell yourself, as I said, the red flags were there, but I chose not to see them. And then you tell yourself, you know what? I've never did this before. I've never lived with the dude before. So maybe this is what happens. You start to tell yourself what you want to hear. You start to tell yourself things that you feel will benefit the relationship, that today it's like this, but tomorrow will be okay. You know? And you start to be that person that you resented, that person that you felt sorry for. You are actually that person. And then it went on for a while until you reach that point where you feel like you are totally losing your mind. You are losing your mind. Take note, you came into this relationship from being single for 7 years because that's what you chose. And you go into a relationship and then you start asking yourself is, maybe it's me, maybe it was me. Maybe I was single for so long and I didn't know how to conduct a relationship. So maybe I'm the reason, you know? That's being with the narcissist. They mess with your head so much that you actually look for reasons to blame yourself. And as you're going on, every single day you learn new things about yourself. And I like when you think about what you experienced or what you went through, it actually keeps you up at night. And the sad part about it is, in a breakup, the fact that you lost or you left the man that you supposedly loved, it's supposed to hurt you. But that's not hurting you. The fact that you subjected yourself to such bullshit is what's hurting you.
Yeah.
The fact that you went into this with your whole heart and you came in there whole. Because you had no baggage, you had no whatever, you just came with normal day-to-day problems, but things that you'd overlook. This person came in with a bundle of problems, a bundle of brokenness. Moral of the story is, don't try and fix something you did not break.
Yeah.
Tell the person, if you feel that, okay, I'm attracted to this guy or to this girl, you got to be straight up with the person and say to them, you know what? You have problems. You are a broken person and you need to heal. And I'm not the one that broke you. So you need to take time out to heal, fix yourself. And when you are done doing that, take it to the Lord in prayer most days. Then come back to me. And then we can take it from there. But because once again, we're so hungry for a relationship. And I would use the word hungry because it describes it in so many ways. That you see things and you will go into it and then you try and fix somebody that you didn't break. You did not break that person. It's not your responsibility to fix that person. So yeah, that's where we fall short. So as much as the narcissist or the toxic man is to blame for it, so are we that have allowed and subjected themselves to such behavior or such disrespect. Or so you gotta find yourself. You really gotta find yourself. To the viewers, to the listeners, to the women that are sitting and crying over a man, girl, stop crying over that man. Stop crying over that man. You save your tears for the day that you really need to cry. Crying over a man is like yesterday.
So yesterday, girl. So
Yesterday.
yesterday.
No, yesterday. So yeah, it is what it is, eh? Such is life, but heal. That is my thing. I actually want to make t-shirts and I want to give them out for free because I need people to heal. And we would have very toxic relationships. We need a healing party and the grounds are quite big enough because there are so many people that need to heal. So many people need to heal. It's unreal. So yeah, shame man. Let's pray for healing.
I think there's so much we can talk on about the he loved me not. There's I've dated a guy 11 years older than me. We weren't official, but he was like 15 in age if you add it up. Cam, I'm sure there's clowns, Nash. I'm sure there's clowns. There's so like there's a lot for he loved me not. Maybe we'll have another part too. But can we go to the he loves me part of this?
Yeah, we can totally
And
do
with
it.
that being said, Nash, do you want to tell us how you and your husband, your baby daddy, your child's father met?
So I was studying fashion design, right? And in third year, they would normally have a fashion show where we would, you know, open it up to the public. There would, be like guests and judges. So they'd have like a top 20. It was like a whole big shebang. Like this is the highlights of your studies, right? So I was in third year. We were prepping for the fashion show. So we were having a fitting with the model. And he walks in with this other model, right? Now they're quite well known in the industry in Durban and stuff. I recognized the other one, and the other one is like way older than him. Shout out to Stanley.
Okay, so yeah, he's a model.
Yes.
Just want to put that out there.
Yes,
Okay.
he's a model.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then, yeah, he walks in, he had on this leather jacket and he's got his bag because, they've got to like have like change of clothes and whatever. And so the other model like greets everyone, hugs us all, and he also comes in and he greets. And you can see he's got this thing about him, like he's the guy. So I was like, weird. So that was the first time like we officially bumped into each other. In the same year, DFF, which is Durban Fashion Fair, right? They were looking for dresses. So as a dresser, you gotta be backstage, and when the models come off the ramp, you legit have like a few seconds to change them quick, put on the new outfits or whatever, and get them back on stage. So I was a dresser.
Touch the muscle.
I was the dresser, and I just so happened to dress him, right? Which was so wild because like these guys stripped down to their boxes, to their undies and stuff. I was such an innocent little girl, it was wild.
It's your fitted socks.
So yeah, I was his dresser, and then that's when we first started like interacting and stuff like that. But not on like a personal level because it was just all about the show, getting him dressed quick, whatever the case may be. And then we started working together at corporate. We were in different departments. He was in marketing. I was obviously in fashion buying. And, we would chat here and there, like randomly. He would come to my desk, guys. He was such a sickie. He'd come to my desk at random times and just like pop up and be like, hey, Nash. And I was so ditzy. I never really like paid attention. I also had like insecurity issues. So every time guys would like hit on me or would like flirt me, I would choose not to see it or I would just be so oblivious to it. But yeah, he would come by all the time to say hi, whatever the case may be. And then I left to go further my studies. And then we bumped into each other yet again. I swear life was just trying to do the things and we
God's
weren't
work.
having it. And then finally we bumped into each other. He fell in love. It was love at first sight. He's confessed it before, so don't laugh. And then honestly, the rest is history. We were dating when it was COVID time, so it was so hard. we would legit be racing back before curfew. Like I'm on the freeway, I'm like it's 5 minutes before the popo is gonna lock us up. But yeah, it was lit. So that's how we actually met. So we knew each other before we actually knew each other.
Love, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna tell Sky that story one day. I'm also gonna tell Sky how Gran used to come into my room like I was the one that was outside during curfew
Yeah, you were
and
though. You
literally
and your
shouts
husband.
at me to phone you to say, "Where is Nat? She's supposed to be home by now." Guys, it was something else. Let me tell you something. If you didn't know, Nash, she is a risk taker. The man she loves. Shoo. Those are the times, though. Shout out.
Shout out, shout out. Cal, on your journey of finding true love, what are you going to be looking out for? What are some of the green flags? I feel like we've spoken a lot about red flags, so we're just going to flip the script.
Mm.
What are some of the green flags you'd hope to see when you meet Brad? Guys, Brad is the name of the perfect guy. It's no one
Mm.
specific. We just use that name because it's just like a typical movie name. So yeah, spill the deep, Cal.
Putting me on the spot once again. At this point in my life, Dash, I'm not focusing on a relationship, but look, if it's God's plan, then it's God's plan. And we've had this conversation, God and I, that for the longest time I've chosen my guys. I've never found the need to consult God about it. I've never found the need to. If I looked at you and I felt you and you were feeling me and we would just get to know each other and date, well, this time around, no, it's going to be totally different. So, in saying so, if you are not seen to me by God, then there is no me and you, you know? There will never be a me and you because God knows exactly what I want in a man, what I need in a man, and I'm not asking for him to be out of this world, but all I need him to be is a God fearing man. And if you're a God fearing man, then you would not harm or hurt other people, firstly. So he's got to be a God fearing man. He's got to feed my soul or feed my hunger for God. He's got to walk this journey with me. And yes, there'll be trials, there'll be stuff in the way, but we got to work through it together. So yeah, I'm not looking for the perfect man, but I'm looking for them. If I happen to date again, if it's God's plan, then this time around, oh, it's going to be totally different. It's going to be, when I speak of him, when I speak of my bread, I'm going to tell all or whoever. That's like if people meet me and say, "Oh, is this your boyfriend?" No, I want to say this is the man God sent to me. He's
Aw.
not going to be my boyfriend. He's going to be the man that God sent to me. So until then, it's just going to be Cal. And I'm actually enjoying getting to know me better. I'm actually enjoying getting back in touch with Cal. I'm enjoying finding out new things about myself. So when I do meet my God sent man, I will be in a clear mind. I will be fresh. I will have healed from whatever I needed to heal from. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So my bread will be sent from God, and his name will be bread. I will speak it into existence.
Okay, go.
If I can just comment on that and like even, the things that you said prior, there was a lot that can be taken and deducted from what you said. And my hope for you, honestly, knowing you personally, is that you would allow God to bring you back to your femininity. I feel like even with the whole you being lead in that other relationship, and always just wanting to be the dominant one, there's a lot of factors that can contribute to making you into that person. But I really do pray and hope that the guy that God sends you would be literally an angel. I pray that he would be your safe space because I think when a guy is a safe space, as a woman, you just immediately just like calm down.
Mhm.
You're not like the I don't want to use warrior in like a, a warrior is a good thing, but like you're not so like in fight or flight mode. You're not like aggressive. You just become soft. You become like a soft gal. And so I really pray that for you. I feel like you deserve it. I pray that Brad will love you unconditionally and love you just for who you are. And, before Brad comes and while you're working on yourself, I do pray that you would just heal from the toxicity, heal from the decisions you've made, which you regret. I pray that you would forgive yourself and that you would just allow Cal to be the lady of Brad's dreams. That's my prayer for you.
And I second that.
Thanks, Nash. Thanks, Robs. Yeah, no, for sure, guys. It's been real.
Cal, what have you taken from today's topic?
For me, listening to Robin and listening to you and looking at it from all different points of views, and I mean, looking at the things that Robin had spoken about and where she now, not only for me, but for those listening and for those that are at a point in their lives where they feel like, you know what, he was my everything. I'm nothing without him. There is light at the end of the tunnel. He wasn't your everything. Your everything is waiting for you. God is your everything, and that He's designed and created for you is waiting for you. So, looking at you guys' lives right now, nobody's life is perfect, but I mean, you're living that somehow picket fence's life. So, you're giving other young people and older people that hope that don't give up, don't be hard on yourself. You got this, and God got you.
Yeah.
So
Trust in yourself, love yourself, because I was once you, and now look at me. So, pray about it, trust God. So, yeah, for me, that was it, like listening to you guys' stories and different things that you all have been through, and some of the things Robin touched on with regards to what she's been through and stuff like that in her past was an eye opener for me as well. That is a little bit older than you guys. So yeah, it was very informative. It was real. It was uncut. It was from the heart. It's what you guys have experienced. It's what I have experienced. So sometimes we need to talk about the real, not the glamour and the glitz. We need to speak about people today lives. People are experiencing that somebody out there is going to listen to this and they're going to say, I am that person, but I don't want to be that person. So there is such a strong message behind this. As it being loves me not, but the message behind it is so strong. It is so strong and it's so hopeful. And I hope it reaches that many people, or male or female, as many people as possible, that they can dust themselves off, look in the mirror, and tell yourself, I got this. I got this. I've been through it. I've tortured myself enough, but it's done.
it's
Yeah.
finished.
It's over. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Robs, any closing words?
I think before we close off officially, what I've taken from this whole episode, and this is for all you guys, gals out there, he loves you not. Okay, but what is more important is that you love you.
Mm.
It's the foundation to just a better way of life. You love you, God loves you, you love God. It just builds the foundation for a happier, meaningful, healthy life. So that's my take out for it. And also, as Cal said, dust yourself off. Tomorrow is a new day. We all make mistakes. We all get into potholes that we didn't mean to. But if you have to learn the hard way, then just put on your helmet and work through it, because at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. No matter what. Even if your relationship was a war zone, you're going to come out on top. So that's my bit from what we have taken out today. I think it's been an amazing episode. Cal, thank you so much for joining us as our first guest host with your six
Can we give
cats.
her a round of
We
applause?
will.
Aw, thanks for having me, guys. It's been so lit.
So yeah, guys, thanks for listening and see you next week. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
And also turn on the notification so that every time we upload a video, you guys can get the notification. Yeah, it's been lit. Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.